Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make your first Apple Watch application. Um, it will be a simple application where you'll be communicating, or our Apple Watch will be communicating to our iOS app. So since Apple Watch app cannot live as a standalone application, they have to be supported from iOS applications. So uh, we must have one iOS application where our Apple Watch app uh, is supported, right? So uh, I have created one application which is called named as Apple Watch Demo. It is just a simple application. It doesn't have any other targets and all. So to create your first watch application, you have to add a target. Um, so let's do it. Let's create a new target, and the type of the target will be application watchOS application, and you have to select WatchKit app. Okay, so you have to give it some name, maybe watch app, sorry, watch app, and you have to select that's kind of weird, you have to select your container application for this application, watch application. Okay, so container iOS app is basically the app where this Apple Watch app resides. Okay, um, so by default I have created this application, Apple Watch Demo, and I'm selecting the same. After you click on done, this pop-up will be there. You have to click on activate. Basically, if you choose activate, uh, you will be uh, I mean your application watch will your watch application will appear in the schemes. Okay, so activate it, and if you see here, we have three targets: Apple Watch Demo, kind of cut off, watch app, and watch app notifications. Okay, we have to focus on this thing first, watch app. So if you select this target, you can see there are no devices available because by default your iOS simulators are not paired with any of our Apple Watch simulators, right? So we have to pair it first, so that it can be run um, on the iOS device, on the Apple Watch. So uh, let's do it. You go to Window, and you select devices. If you see, there are some devices, there are some simulators here. If you select like iPhone 6 or 6 Plus, so you can see there is an option called paired watches. There are no paired watches as of now because I have not added anything. For some devices, it won't be available because Apple doesn't. Those iOS devices doesn't support Apple Watch, so we have to select those devices where Apple Watch is supported. Okay, um, so this is iPhone 6 Plus. I'll choose iPhone 6 and I will add. So you click on plus button. You'll be shown this pop-up where you have to name your simulator, and which type it is, and the OS version of those of that particular simulator. Okay, so I am giving this name as Joy's Apple Watch. Okay, sorry, oops, watch, and I will select 42 mm so that it will be visible properly. Um, the default iOS version is 2.2. As new versions will be coming, you will be shown multiple versions. You click on pair and it will be paired, right? So our iPhone 6 is paired with this Apple Watch simulator. Okay, close it. Now if you select your Apple Watch scheme, and if you see, this simulator is shown, right? So iPhone 6 plus Joyce application, we just have paired, right? So now run the application. Let's see. how it works. Okay, so see, actually our uh, iOS simulator is also launched because Apple Watch cannot run as an individual app. Apple Watch app cannot run as an individual app, so iOS application is also launched simultaneously. Okay, so you can see the this is our iOS app, Apple Watch demo, and so our application is running here in Apple Watch. Since we don't have any content as of now, so it is just a black screen. But yeah, so our application is running. So uh, this is the initial setup. After you are done this setup, no other setup required. It's done. So now you can start adding your business logic and UI. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to show. Okay, so before we start, let's see what are the things I did when we created Apple Watch. When we added target Apple Watch. Okay, so first thing is Apple Watch app. We just named it Watch app. So it doesn't have much, but it has interface builder, one storyboard, which is kind of normal storyboard in iOS. It's similar to that, and so instead of UI, instead of UI view controller, we have class called interface controller. Okay, so all this screen will be a subclass of interface controller. Okay, sorry. WatchKit interface controller. Yeah, so that is the correct name of the superclass. And if you see, there are two other screens as well: static interface and dynamic interface. I will talk about it later. But let's focus on screens. What we have. So, and let's see what we have in watch app extension. So basically, when you add your watchOS app in any iOS app, it creates two new targets. One is your watch app, and where and another is watch app extension. Okay, it will have all your set files. Okay, so this storyboard will have your views, and there's their respective classes will be in zip files uh, in watch app extension. Okay, so what I'm going to do is um, I will have one screen where there will be one button, and when you click on that button, it will communicate to your iOS application, and iOS application will respond to that accordingly. Okay, based on what type of uh, say message is coming. Based on that, it will reply. Okay, so how one Apple Watch communicates to a respective iOS application is basically we have something called watch connectivity session. So this particular class will be used to communicate between watch app and iOS application. Okay, so and the class is available in watch connectivity framework. So we have to import it first, watch connectivity, and let's create one session here. Session watch connectivity session. Okay. Um, so there's some methods here. Basically, one is awake with context. This is something similar to awake from nib in view controller. Then we'll activate this kind of muted load. Okay, and not muted load. Muted load. Basically, you can say view will appear, and there's something called view did deactivate is kind of view will deactivate. So these messages are respected to, you can correlate with your uh, UI view controller. Okay, something similar is there. So let's create the session first. Mm, So before we can create session, we have to check whether our iOS device is supporting WatchKit application, WatchKit session or not, because uh, some of the devices, for example, iPhone 4S and uh, other devices or other lower end devices doesn't support this thing, and we don't have in iOS 8. X we don't have a watch support, right? So we have to check whether our iOS device is supporting watch connectivity or not. So for that we have one method called uh, class method, which is watch connectivity session dot s supported. So before creating the session you have to check it, and you can have a default session. Then you have to set the delegate if you want. I will say yes. This step is optional, but you may need it because sometimes you get delegate methods from iOS application that you received something or some message or some um, methods being called. Okay, and session dot activate is the third step. You have to activate the session. Once you have created a session, you have to activate it before sending any message to your iOS application. Okay, and we have to set the delegate to this class. Now um, this is the first step where you are creating the session. Now we should have something in let us say in our controller that for example a button where when you click, then the app starts sending message to um, iOS application. Okay, so for that I will add one button here. So if you add this button, check the class name, and class name is WatchKit interface button. Rather than UI button, we have WatchKit interface button. So we don't have UI kit framework available in Apple Watch. So uh, the UI elements are also very limited. If you see there, um, some only few elements available, right? So be you have to be very precise what you're going to do and how you're going to add the business logic on top of your design. Okay, so we have this button, we change it to send. Okay, now this what I'm going to do is when user clicks on the send button, it will send one message to iOS application, and iOS application will respond accordingly. Okay, so let's add some action here. I'll just say action, and let's say send clicked. Okay, yeah, so when user uh, clicks on send button, we have to call the API. So let's call it session dot send message. We have different kind of methods here. For example, if you want to send some data, or you want to just send a simple dictionary object, so I'll choose this thing, the first method, which is kind of uh, dictionary. It will send dictionary, and again in the reply it will get dictionary if it is a success, or failure in case of any failure. Okay, so I'll just send message something like this, message, and message, for example, send, right? So you can give any key and value uh, to this message. You can add anything, but all those messages should be handled properly in your iOS application. Okay, so I'm just sending a key called message, and the value is sent because I created a button name as sent. Okay, um, then reply handler is basically it will receive one dictionary. So maybe I will give just name as data, and I will handle anything which comes here. Handle response, right? Uh, we have error handler as well. I'll say error and handle error. So as of now, I'm not doing anything. Just written this method. Now, since we are sending something to iOS application, we have to handle as at the iOS side. So any message sent from WatchKit application, sorry, Apple Watch application, it will be received in app delegate, and the same way we have created session object, we have to create here as well. So I will just import um, watch connectivity, and I'll say watch connectivity session delegate. I will have an object here for session session. Again, I have to check whether the iOS is supporting or not. Let's say watch session supported. If supported session dot default session dot delegate self session dot activate session, right? So our session object is ready, but we have not added any methods, delegate methods, so that it can receive any messages. So we have to add. So I will just add one message session uh, did receive message and reply handler. This is the um, kind of method we want. So whenever the API whenever user sends any message from Watch app, it will be received here. Um, so we will log what message is coming from Apple Watch. So I'll just say that message received, and I will say message, and because our key was message, so I'm using the same key here so that the value will be printed here. Now we have to reply back to our Apple Watch app, so I'll just say that, and here we can send any dictionary, probably response, and you can set any value here, maybe success. Okay, that's it. That's what we wanted. Now coming back to our interface controller, we have to handle the response. So if let be your response um, data say response as string. If it is having some response, we have to show will show one alert. Response maybe self dot show alert, maybe. So let's print it. showing alert suspended, print received response, and here we will add response. Okay. So pretty much okay. We have to handle error as well. So I'll just print the error in case if any error comes. Error while performing operation. Okay. So we are ready. So let's run the application again before. So first we run the iOS application. Let's see if there's no compiling a compilation timer or something like that. Okay, so it runs properly, no problem. Now run the application or watch application. Uh, okay, so we have a send button here. Let's send it. Click on send. Oops. Okay, so received response, because I clicked twice. It is saying yeah, I have received a response. Okay, so the earlier log is not printed because the we are running watch app target rather than iOS app target. So this response I will click again. Let's see if it's okay, success, right? So this is the what you say basic structure um, how you can create your watch application, Apple Watch application. This is pretty simple, straightforward. I will be coming with more complex structure and more complex um, UI of Apple Watch. Uh, keep uh, keep an eye on my channel. See you soon. Thank you.